Welcome to my Asshole Podcast. Let's get into it. All right, on Tuesday, we did, ladies, what is the creepiest thing a guy has ever done? Now, let's go ahead and flip the table like we like to do, and this is what's the worst thing a woman has done on a first date. All right, let's get into it. I don't have any total horror stories, but when I was away at school, like 2 hours away from home, I matched with a girl from my hometown when visiting my parents. We talked for a few days and she wanted to meet me for dinner, but I had already gone back to school and it was the middle of the week. So I skipped an evening lecture to go see this girl. As a horny 19-year-old, this seemed like a good idea and drove 2 hours in the dark and snow. Oh shit, cakes, bro.
Bruh.
Got to the restaurant, and when I went to message her that I was there, I found she had deleted me off everything. What? Oh shit. I texted her. We didn't often text, but I had her number and got no response. Still have no idea why she did this. But she was well aware I was driving 2 hours to meet her. The last message she sent me was after I told her I was leaving, telling me to drive safe. Not sure what changed during the 2 hours I was in the car, but I never heard from her again. Needless to say, my parents got a surprise visit for me that night, and I didn't feel like telling them why. Damn, that sucks. Bro drove 2 hours to meet this girl, and she's like, oh my God, drive safe, I'm so down, da 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 da. And she stands him up. Oh, brother. Damn, man. Hey, you know, you win some, you lose some. Damn. That was removed. All right, I showed up to grab a drink, and she was already blacked out. Chatted for 30 minutes and left. The next day, she messaged me asking why I never showed. What the fuck? No. She got so drunk, she doesn't remember him showing up. Like, what the hell? This man showed up to have drinks with this girl. She was already blasted. They talked for 30 minutes. A homeboy was like, all right, man, this ain't going anywhere. I'm out. And then next morning, she's just like, what happened to you? Where were you at? And he's like, wait, what? Do you not remember what happened? Like, goddamn, that's crazy. She referred to her 3 daughters as cunts in a conversation without me knowing she had children. What the hell? Yeah, cut that night short. Funny enough, she was the ex of a coworker, and that created a whole new level of drama. Oh my God. So first off, she got 3 kids that she didn't tell this motherfucker about. And then on top of that, she used to date a dude he works with. Oh my goodness. Damn, she get around. Woo, she get around, man.
She belongs to the streets.
God damn. All right, showing up to the bar 7 hours early and proceeding to get blacked out drunk while repeatedly texting me throughout my work days saying I should just come now is the first thing that comes to mind. What? Wait.
What?
Why are you showing up 7 hours early? What the hell? Well, you couldn't wait at home? You couldn't just be watching some TV in your PJs for fucking 7 hours? Like, I'm at work. Like, no shit. I'm not going to just leave work to go see you. Like, bruh. What in the hell? Okay, all right. Damn. We had previously agreed on a restaurant time and to just do separate bills, to which I would offer to pick up her. I would offer to pick up hers at the end to be polite. Oh, okay. So I guess it was agreed that they were going to share the bill or whatever, but he's like, nah, I'm going to just pay for the whole thing to be polite. All right, cool. I was about to say, nigga, you an L. I arrived on time and messaged that I was there. I got a reply stating she was already inside and seated. The server had just brought another glass of wine and was walking away with an empty wine glass and a shot glass. The first words out her mouth weren't even hello. They were, "You're paying, right?" I don't have any money. I didn't breathe a word. I just turned around and left. Yo! That motherfucker said, "Wait a minute. You've already had a glass of wine and some shots, and then we about to have dinner on top of that? Oh, no, 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 no." Yo, what is up with these chicks just getting hella blasted drunk? Like, are these guys that ugly or something? Or what's going on? You know, like, what? Seriously, what's going on? Like, are these guys ugly, or are these guys like not their type, and they're just like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna get a free dinner," or like what's going on? Why are they getting drunk like this? I would think on a date, yeah, sure, you have a drink, you know, you maybe have one or two, you feel a little buzzed, nothing crazy, you know, but you're still coherent throughout the night, not getting blasted fucking drunk. Like, come on, man. Oh yeah, all right. Told me she was pregnant by her roommate's fiance.
Bruh. She belongs to the streets.
That's crazy. That is crazy. What the hell? You go on a date with her and she's just like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I'm pregnant by my roommate's fiance. Yeah, you know, he and I were doing our thing a little bit, and we don't do it anymore." But it says that shit with a straight face too, I bet. That's crazy. Let's see. Was in the bathroom a long time. She was going through my medicine cabinet checking labels. You know, weirdly enough, bro, I believe it. You know, I believe it, because there's a lot of girls that I know that have done that, and they're just like, "Oh yeah, you know, a guy's bathroom will kind of tell you a lot about him and shit like that." I don't know if that's true. I think that's kind of crazy, but I know if I caught a girl in my bathroom looking at shit, I would be like, "What are you doing?" You know, I'd be like, "What are you doing?" Because you look crazy as fuck right now. I would catch her ass in the act so fast. I'm like, "What are you doing?" My goodness. Brought a friend to dinner. Okay, sure. Bring a buddy, I suppose. God, she brought a friend. Oh man. See, the moment I saw that, I would walk the other way. I'd be like, "Nope, this date's not happening. Done with you." What the fuck? But the friend wanted to sit at the table and not at the bar so we could have some privacy. And they both thought I was going to pay for dinner for all of us and drinks. Oh, man. I told you. And the friend made it clear she was only there to cock block because her friend liked to sleep with guys, and she was there to prevent that. I kind of felt like I was being accused of a sex crime. I just looked them both in the eye, told them I ain't the one, and left. This was before I got our drinks too. Yo, man. He said I ain't the one. Facts, bro. Facts. I'm not about to sit here and pay for two girls that aren't even interested in me like that, supposedly, or however this is going. Like, come on, man. Like, that's just not about to happen. That's crazy talk. You're wild for that. She said, "I'm here to cock block." Yo. Damn. This isn't terrible as much as it's very strange. I'm from upstate New York, and she was from Florida. She had made several questionably accurate statements throughout the night, but I finally said something when she claimed lacrosse originated from Florida. It's pretty well established it came from the Iroquois tribes of western central New York. She proceeded to open Wikipedia and read the entire entry, inserting Florida throughout in an attempt to prove her point. I dropped it, but checked when I got home, and she was just openly lying. Oh,
hey, yo, what the fuck?
Who the fuck cares, bruh? You know, I'd have been like, "Damn, for real? It came out of Florida? Wow, that's crazy, bro. Dang, I didn't know that." You know, like, like when it comes to like dating and stuff like that, when there are certain topics of like wrong and right and facts and all that kind of stuff, for me, I just let it go. I'm like, look, man, if she's being stupid, it is what it is. Like, I'm going to just let it go. I could care less. I'm not going to ruin my night over some shit like this. You know what I mean? Like, especially if I might get some coochie out the night. You know, like if I might get something, cool. If not, you know, I might just cut the day short and leave. But it's like, I'm not about to sit there and make everything all uncomfortable, you know, trying to prove her right and wrong and all that. Like, that's just too much, man. That's doing too much. Yeah. Come on, man. You just ruined the night. Bragged about stealing. Yes, literally stealing behind his back. Her last boyfriend's Gucci watch, then proceeded to complain about her last date for being too fat. Oh my God. Then generally got offended. I had an Android phone instead of an Apple. Oh my God. Yep, that happens. Yeah. I've talked to a numerous amount of girls. I'm like, does it make a guy less attractive if he has an Android phone? And they say yes. I don't know why. It is the wildest shit to me ever. If I'm being honest with you, I'm like, I don't get it. You know, and they try to make the argument, oh, FaceTime and this and that. Bitch, you ain't FaceTiming nobody. What do you mean? You know, you ain't FaceTiming nobody. Get the fuck out of here with that nonsense. And then on top of that, they're over here talking about, oh, you know, I can't stand the green bubbles. It's like, so what? It's the context of the person and the words in the bubbles. Who cares what the color of them are? Like, and they're like, oh, but iMessage is better. And that is retarded, man. That is just the dumbest shit ever. The fact that they sit there and be like, oh, but, you know, if you have an Android phone, you're less attractive. That's crazy. And then she's out here talking about, you know, she's stealing. The moment she was bragging about that, I'd have been like, ooh, okay. Goodbye. Like,
she belongs to the streets.
You want to be out here stealing shit? Like, what the fuck? And you happy about it? No. The most confusing one I've ever had was when I met this girl at her place. We sit down, some nonchalant BSing, normal stuff. She asked me when my birthday was. I told her. She goes, oh, you're a Leo. What the fuck? And then she got up and stormed out. I was like, maybe I should have dodged a super ultimate bullet there. Facts, bro. Facts. Oh man. And look, man, I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of sauce, and the ladies aren't gonna like this one. But if anytime they ask you what your sign is, the 3 good ones to go to are Pisces, Virgo, and I believe it's Aquarius. Those are the 3 go-tos. Your birthday ain't even gotta be near that shit. But if they asking about it, you say any one of those 3 and they're like, oh, okay, all right. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Yeah. Well, you know, I'm a this and that, da. I'm telling you, man, it works that way. Why? I don't know. But for some reason, those are the 3 that don't get any flack. If you're a Scorpio, oh, hell nah. If you're a Gemini like your boy, oh, hell nah. If you're a Cancer, it's hit and miss. You know, some girls are like, some girls are like, that's fine. But, you know, if you're a Leo, if you're anything else, they are just like, nope, you're a red flag, you're this and that, and da-da-da-da, and they'll sit there and just be like, nope, no thanks. Yeah, trust me, man. Trust me. And then on top of that, you don't even want to be dating them kind of girls anyway. Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation in itself and a whole can of worms you really don't even want to open. I just say stay away from them chicks, you know. But like I said, if they ask you, man, those are the 3 to go with, man. All right, Virgo, Aquarius, and Pisces. I'm telling you, because I ain't ever heard a girl say anything bad about a Virgo, an Aquarius, or a Pisces. I ain't ever heard none of that. Facts, guaranteed. I ain't ever heard them say anything bad about those three. So, you can even rotate them bitches that way. Or stick with one, find one that works the most with girls and then you stick with that one. I'd probably say Pisces or an Aquarius. Those would probably be the two that would work the most. Virgo, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, so it's just something to think about, something to chew on. She called me racist for calling a black person George. What the fuck, nigga? The guy's name was George, and he's a friend of mine. Both of us looked at each other. Oh, well, he probably said Jorge, maybe. No, because he would have wrote it like that. No, he wrote it like George. He didn't write it like Jorge. So, no, okay, yeah, he said George. All right. He's a friend of mine. Both of us looked at each other. Turns out racists used to call black people George at one point. Either way, she refused to apologize or act like she made a mistake. So George asked me if I wanted to join his group. Only time I have ever ditched a first date. Man, I would too. I'd be like, wait. I get it. In the fucking 1930s, they used to call niggas George. I get that. But his name is George. What do you want me to call him? Like, hey, yo, my racially apathetic friend. Come here, man. How's it going, brother? Like, no, I'm going to call him by his fucking name. Like, what the hell is going on here? I don't know how she would take offense to that. Like, if anything, George should have took offense to that. He should have just been like, wait, what? You calling me a slave? Like, come on, man. Like, God damn, bro. All right. I met a girl via a dating app. Wasn't instant sparks or anything, but she seemed nice enough and we had shared interests, so I invited her out for a dinner and she accepted. She showed up to the date looking like she rolled out of bed, sweatpants, a plain t-shirt, zero makeup. I'm not someone who thinks the first date needs to be all dressed up formal, but it was clear that she put zero effort into her performance or into her appearance. Yo, that's fucked up. We sit down to eat and she absolutely refuses to engage in conversation. Every question I ask got a 1 or 2 word answer with zero follow-up. Have you ever been to this restaurant before? No. How's your weekend going? Fine. I saw on your profile you coach Little League softball. That must be fun. It's okay. The entire time was painful. I finished my meal quickly, walked her to her car, thanked her for her time. Nigga, you went way too far in this date. I'm about to cut you short right here. The fuck are we talking about? Gentlemen, 3-strike rule. You guys need to start having this mentality with chicks. 3-strike rule. I would have been like, all right, cool. She really didn't put a lot into her appearance, for this date. Telling me she doesn't give a fuck. All right, cool. Strike 1. I'm asking her questions, trying to talk to her. Things aren't really getting to it. Strike 2. Like just with that. And then what I would do is I wouldn't say anything. I wouldn't try to start no conversation, nothing. And I would time her. I'd put a little 20-minute timer or something like that. And I'd be like, if she doesn't say anything to me in 20 minutes, I'm getting up and fucking walking away. I'm just walking away. I'll walk up there and I'll be like, hey, can I pay for my shit? And I'm leaving. Like, no, I ain't walking her nowhere. I ain't taking her nowhere. That date is done. If we hit that 20-minute mark and you haven't said shit, you haven't said a damn thing to me during this whole date, well, I'm done. Strike 3, you're out. Like, bro, y'all niggas be just sitting around with these dumb chicks. And she's just out here like, cool, I got a free meal and I'm good. Like, what the hell? And you're over here wondering why homegirl is being crazy the way she is, man. Because it's dumb guys like you that pay for the whole meal, take her to her car and still treat her nice on the date. Nah, man. I would have got the fuck out of that. I'm like, you're done. Goodbye. Later that night, she sends a text saying, I had fun tonight. Man, come on.
Stop the cap.
I figured she was just being polite, so I didn't respond. The next morning, I woke up to a text with multiple paragraphs from her calling me a jerk for ghosting her and saying how if I wasn't interested in seeing her, I should just be upfront and say so. What? Hold up. Do you remember how you came to that date? Do you remember what you were saying to me on that date? Now, look, I understand being nervous. All right, I understand that. But even a nervous girl is going to put some effort into her appearance. She's going to wear a decently nice outfit that is comfortable but cute. She's going to put on a little bit of makeup, you know, maybe just like some eyeliner and foundation, you know what I mean? And some lip gloss. Like, that's very basic. Like, a girl who is nervous for a date, she's going to at least do that. At least. But no, she wore no makeup. She wore sweatpants and she said nothing on that fucking date. So how in the hell am I ghosting you? And then you're going to sit there and be like, I had a great time on the date last night. I wouldn't have messaged her back either. I'd have been like, who the fuck are you? Like, new phone, who this? What the hell? My God, calling me a jerk for ghosting her and saying how if I wasn't interested in her, I should just be upfront and say so. It was, and I am not exaggerating, several times as many words as she has spoken the entire date. To this day, I'm perplexed by the whole thing. All I can figure is maybe she was really anxious or something on the date. It was bizarre. See, facts. I knew that's what you thought. And no.
Stop the cap.
She was not anxious. She was not nervous. None of that shit. All right, get the fuck out of here. The fact that, like I said, even a nervous girl going on a date is going to put some little effort into it. You know, whether she's going to wear like a cute outfit that's just not too much, but it's not too little. She's going to do, you know, the bare minimum with her makeup. Like, come on, man. This is a chick who she don't give a fuck. She doesn't give a fuck. Like, come on. That's crazy, bro. She was late and explained that she needed to break into her ex's house. Yo, what? Who she broke up with less than a week before, real quick. This chick said, hey, yo, I'm going to be late on the date. I got to break into my boyfriend and my ex-boyfriend's house real quick. Like, what? Huh? She then showed me her bad/unflattering nudes that she posted on Reddit. Oh my God. I do not remember where the nudes are posted. And this nigga said, disgusting where? You motherfuckers in the comments, bro. Y'all is so wild. This motherfucker said... he said for research purposes. Come on, man, y'all is crazy. Comments are kind of wild, man. Damn, son. Oh God, she looked nothing like her photos. Invited me back to her place, which looked like it had been a cleaning product since it was built. Did blowtorch dabs for 20 minutes before acting like it was time for me to take her to bed. I said I needed something from my car and left. She still texted the next day asking when date 2 will be. Yo. So he got catfished and then went on the date, went to her house, and then was just like, oh shit, yeah, I forgot something in my car. I gotta go get it. I'll be right back. All right, cool. And that nigga just said, skrrr, gone by. Like, damn. But you guys are crazy. Why y'all be going on these dates like this? Like, if homegirl catfished you like that, I would have been like, ooh, yeah, see, you know, my goldfish died and I'm up out of here. Goodbye. Like, I'm not going on that date. I'm not spending money. I'm not taking this any further. Like, no. You want to catfish, that's your business. But it ain't about to be mine. Get the fuck out of here. God, y'all is crazy. Only talked about her ex. God damn. And the breakup. Talking in details about all of it and refused to change the subject. The best part is the breakup happened when she was 22. She's 35 now. Oh my God. What? You are not over a guy that you dated 13 years ago? Come on, man. What are you doing in the dating scene? Like, what are you doing in the dating scene? That is ridiculous. You're in the dating scene. Why? Like, that makes fucking no sense. If you are, like, if you can't stop talking about a relationship that happened 13 years ago, Jesus Christ, that's crazy. Rolled her eyes over the idea that I researched where to take her on a date. It was a cafe with a harpist. That shit was magical. Oh, man.
Bruh.
I mean, it wasn't magical for her. She was like, really, nigga, we going to this whack cafe? Which, that's, I mean, don't get me wrong. You know, that's how she was. But for me, I would have been like, hey, yo, this looks dope. I would think it's kind of magical too, but she didn't think it was magical. Man, that kind of sucks. Hey, you know, she's a big time. God damn. All right. Okay, cool. Where do I begin? Within 5 minutes, she told me she broke off an engagement. Oh, God. 10 minutes later, she said she went out with a guy the previous week, hit it off with him, but then when he went to the bathroom, she left the bar with another guy in a cab. Told me to buy her drinks, said I'd be sitting at the table while she's in the bathroom. I look up 10 minutes later and she's talking to the bartender drinking. Oh, asked her what's up. She said she didn't see me. I drank her beer and left. Texted her that I had a great time sarcastically and said she wanted to meet up again. Wacko. What the fuck? You're on a date and she was just like, oh yeah, I broke off an engagement. Last week I was with this dude, but I didn't really like him, so I left with another guy at that same bar. Like, huh?
What did he say?
Like, you did what? You were on a date and then you left with another guy? And then he orders drinks. She leaves to go to the bathroom. She doesn't even come back to the table. She sees the bartender and is just like, ooh, that nigga look yummy. What's up? How you doing? Can I get a drink? You know, like, my God. Like, if you didn't go over there and say anything, she would have went home with the bartender nigga. Like, bro, that is crazy, man. Ooh, some of you ladies move wild. I ain't gonna lie to you. All right, we're going to do two more. We had ordered drinks and an appetizer after she picked one of the most expensive restaurants in town. She took a few sips and then asked me about my job. I explained a little bit about it, said it was pretty boring unless you are a software / firmware / network nerd, and asked her about hers. She asked, does it pay well? Ooh. I kind of agree and then try a second time to change the subject. She says, I'm asking you how much you make because I don't want to waste my time on someone who is broke. God damn, I mean, at least she's honest. Jesus. I tell her that it's complicated because when you get to a certain level at a company, you become a flight risk, but also a risk to their long-term strategy as you are considered a strategic asset. So they won't overpay you, but your salary is basically name your price. She says, do you make more than $250K a year or not? Yo, what? That's shocking and a red flag. Fuck. That's when I knew it was unsolvable. She said, or she was just tactless, but rude as well. Also, she would invariably be the type of person to think they should spend all the money as fast as they could. I looked her dead in the eyes and said, imagine thinking $250K a year was a lot of money. Paid for the food, tipped stupidly, and left. It was the only date where I felt like I couldn't continue it. Facts. If a girl was just like, do you make $250K or not? I'd have just been like, I wouldn't have said anything. I would have just got up and left. Oh, facts. I would have just got up and left. And she's going to deal with that bill. Fuck her. I would have just got up and left. You know, I wouldn't tolerate any of that BS. I wouldn't have tried to talk to her more. I wouldn't have, none of that. None of that. I would have fucking just left. I'd have said, nope, peace, goodbye. I'm done with you. Because that's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. She thinks she's gonna, man, like, what makes you think you deserve a dude who makes $250,000 a year? What the fuck? That's crazy talk. Man, you ladies are wild. Man, I don't know which one took the cake. Tuesday's thread with the creepy dudes or today's thread with you wild ass chicks on these dates. Man, I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments. You guys let me know which one do you think is wilder, because man, yeah, it is rough out there. God. Oh, man, I'm going to go ahead and get into the announcements before we get into the wrap-up of Haunting Adeline, and then we will get into the next chapters. I believe it is... Give me one moment. Come on now. Oh, we're going to be doing chapters 16 and 17. Woo! Haunting Adeline is getting pretty good, man. But we're going to... Before that, though... We're going to go ahead and get into the announcements. Then we'll get into Haunting Adeline recap, and then we'll get into it. Patreon.com/Am I the Asshole Podcast. Get on there, man. $3 a month goes ahead and gets you an exclusive episode every single Friday, as well as being able to send in your scenarios to the show, man. Go ahead and support us over there. If you love what we're doing on this show and, you can't get enough of this podcast, go ahead and go over there. You'll get an extra episode every single Friday. Thank you guys for all the support on Spotify as well as listening platforms. You guys are killing it over there. Thank you. Keep downloading as well as rating the podcast. Please rate the podcast. It's completely free and it helps your boy out. It is the biggest help that you can do for free 99. All right, man. Just rate the podcast, please. Even if you listen to one episode, rate the podcast. All right. 5 stars is preferable. TikTok and Instagram, man, you guys are killing it on the TikTok. Thank you guys so much. We're very close to our 5K goal. We're halfway to our 10K yearly goal. By the end of this year, I want to hit 10K. But we are moving. We are grooving, man. We're doing a thing. You guys are loving it. I love you guys' comments. I love reading you guys' comments. Keep posting your comments in there. I would love to hear you guys' opinions, or if you guys want to be a part of the thread, answer the thread in there. It helps out a lot, man. I love the engagement. I love interacting with you guys and just hearing you guys' opinions. Even if you don't agree with me, that's totally fine. Or if you want to give a criticism to me, that's totally fine. You know what I mean? You guys' criticisms have actually helped out the show, and it's actually helped out me as well, because you guys told me my reading sucked and all that kind of stuff. And, I've improved the show, for you guys. Don't worry. And I listen to you guys' suggestions as well. Hey, you should do a thread like this. You should do this kind of thread, whatever the case may be. Or, I saw this funny thread, should do this thread or whatever. Get in the comments down there, man. It helps me connect with you guys. I'm always in the comments. I'm in there 24/7, if I'm being honest with you. I have been getting more consistent with my clips, though, because your boy is not banned or anything like that. So yeah, I'm gonna try to stay as consistent as possible with that, and we're gonna be doing our thing over there. But yeah, tap in over there, man. It's great. If you want to help out on the free 99 side even more than rating the podcast as well as following us on TikTok, go ahead and head over to youtube.com/Am I the Asshole Podcast. The link is always in the link tree. You can go there, click the YouTube link, subscribe there. Even if you don't watch over there, just subscribing helps. It does. It just helps. All right. I appreciate you guys so much for all the support. But without further ado, let's get into the recap of Haunting Adeline. So the last time we left our girl Adeline, she and her stalker man friend, he was in her house. This motherfucker was in the house and was just like, find me. And so she ends up finding the motherfucker. She grabs a knife and she ends up finding him. I think he's like in the attic, something like that. He's up at the top, floor of the house. I don't know if it's the attic or if it was the just top floor of the house or whatever. So he's up there, and he's got his hood on, looking all daunty and buff and shit in his sweater and whatnot. And he walks up to her and he grabs the knife by the blade, and the blood's just dripping out of his hand. He takes the blade out of her hand and he throws it to the ground. And so, then out of nowhere, he grabs the back of her head and he pulls her close, and he's just telling her, hey, if you want me to leave, then you go ahead and hide from me. If I find you, then I'm going to punish you. But if I don't find you, then I'll leave. And she's like, okay, well, how long until I win or whatever? And he was like, give or take 10 minutes. And she was like, cool, say less. So she ran away, and, you know, she remembered this old little hiding spot that she used to hide in when she was a kid, hiding from her Nana and whatnot. And so she was in there, and then homeboy, I don't know what it was, but I think, you know, he may have killed a pimp or something. He just knew where she was. And so she like darted out to the back side of the room, and then he comes into the room and whatnot. And instead of going into the room, he backs around, and she's like, oh, through the viewing room, there's like this glass room that she has that she could like look up into the stars and stuff like that. That's where her and that one dude from the club were at while, you know, homeboy was fingering her and whatnot, making her taste her own pussy juices and shit. She was like, I can escape out through there. He knew that and went and double backed around and waited by the door, and he was just like, Adeline, you didn't think I knew where you were going? And she was like, fuck. And he was like, I found you, so it's time for your punishment. And so she's just like freaking out, and homeboy, you know, is like on top of her all broody and big and shit, you know, and she's like, no, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing this? Da, da, da. And he was just like, how dare you let another man finger you and make you come? How dare you do that to me? And he was like, never again are you ever gonna do some shit like that. And so she got like all scared and was just like, get the fuck away from me, you're creeping, da da da, whatever. So he pulls out a gun and points it at Adeline, and that's where we left off. All right, so it's getting juicy. It's getting exciting. My goodness. Without further ado, man, let's get into these next chapters. This is chapter 16 and 17. Let me see. Give me 1 second. Double check the audio is good.
Chapter 16.
We're all good.
The Manipulator. Millions of thoughts run through my head on what I could possibly say to get out of this. I'm sorry, clearly wasn't good enough. You're going to shoot me? My bladder is threatening to explode, and the knowledge that I might die in a puddle of pee brings tears to my eyes.
I've already said I'm not going to kill you,
he responds, his tone dripping with impatience. He punctuates his response by dragging the tip of the gun down through the valley of my breasts. The gun continues its path down my stomach, stopping at the edge of my leggings.
Take these off.
My lip trembles, and a single tear slides down my temple. Please, don't do this. He cocks a brow, and the act is damning. He looks so damn unimpressed with my pleas, causing another tear to trace the path of the first.
Now, Adeline.
Sniffling, I finally listen. Hooking my thumbs in the band of my leggings, I pull them down. I'm only able to reach mid-thigh before his body gets in the way. He takes the hint, lifting up and ripping the leggings down the rest of the way. More tears follow suit.
T-shirt next,
he orders, jerking his gun to signal his order. I lift up and slide the shirt over my head, laying back down with a huff.
Fucking beautiful,
he murmurs, his eyes tracing over the curves of my body. Fucker is lucky I'm wearing my black lace set tonight. He doesn't fucking deserve it either. He leans over me again, his mouth kissing the last bruise he left on my shoulder.
Do you know what these mean?
He whispers, kissing another spot. I shudder beneath his touch, electricity sprouting from the point of contact and dancing across my skin. I don't answer, but he doesn't seem to mind.
They mean that I own you, marked you as mine.
The tip of his tongue darts out, trailing my flesh as he moves down towards my breasts. Don't. His teeth pierce the swell of my left breast before I can finish my pointless demand. I gasp, squeezing my eyes shut as he leaves another mark on my skin. Once he's satisfied, he renews his path with his mouth, leaving hickeys on both of my tits and several across my stomach. And all I can do is just take it, because that gun in his hand is keeping me pliant, just like he planned. When my body is well and abused from his teeth and tongue, he lifts up and forces my thighs open. I strain against him, but it only hurts me in the end. He's too strong. His pointer finger curls in the edge of my thong, tracing the lining from the juncture of my thigh down towards my center. Before he reaches my clit, he pulls the material out and runs his finger up and down the fabric, his finger a mere inch from my pussy. I want to cover my face because I know he's feeling my body's betrayal.
These are soaked.
He rasps out, his lips still wet from his saliva. That's called discharge, I snap, hoping my lie turns him off. He smiles in response.
As much as I hate to say this to you, I'm no stranger to a woman's pussy and what it feels like when it weeps for me.
I curl my lip in disgust. Last time I checked, most girls weep because they're upset. Take a hint. He chuckles.
Little mouse, that's exactly what I'm doing.
He then pulls my thong to the side, baring my pussy to him, and the arousal glistening from within. He mutters a curse under his breath as his eyes devour every inch of me. Another tremble of my lips has me biting down on the traitorous flesh. Keeping one finger hooked in my underwear, he points the gun in my face with the other. I recoil, pinching my eyes shut and letting loose a startled yelp.
Relax. I just want you to suck on it.
It takes several seconds for his words to process. To process that he didn't pull the trigger and I'm not dead. When they do, my eyes snap open and I glare at him. Why the fuck? He taps the tip of the gun on my mouth, effectively cutting me off. The rest of my words dissipate as he slides the gun across my lips as if he's painting them with lipstick.
Suck,
he orders, his tone deepening with finality. Closing my eyes against more tears, I open my mouth and let him guide the gun between my teeth. I squeeze my lids tighter as I twirl my tongue over the cold metal, cringing from the nasty taste.
Such a good girl,
he says, pulling the dripping gun out, a trail of saliva following until it snaps. My entire body locks when I feel the cool metal slide against my clit. I flinch against the foreign touch of an incredibly dangerous weapon. Pure terror washes over me, and it takes all of my strength to keep from full-on sobbing. Holding a gun to my head is far less intimidating than it being held between my legs. A gunshot to the head is instant death. But this would be slow and painful, torturous. He leans down, close enough for his hot breath to fan across my core. I lift up for a better view, just as he looks up at me through long, thick lashes, his mismatched eyes sparkling with delight. Right when I open my mouth to ask what he's doing, he sticks out his tongue, saliva pooling to the tip and dripping off onto my pussy.
Can never be too wet, can you, little mouse?
Sitting up, he circles my entrance with the tip of the gun, the metal slipping against my skin. Oh my God, please don't. This time my words are cut off from the feel of him dipping the gun past my folds. Just the tip, but enough to close my throat, only allowing a startled squeak to escape. He laughs cruelly.
You even sound like a mouse.
I'd snap at him if I wasn't frozen solid. I can't look away. I just watch him push the gun inside me, my rounded eyes barely processing what I'm seeing, what I'm feeling. Slowly, he works the gun inside me, drawing out both pleasure and pain. I clench my jaw, shuddering from his ministrations, but refusing to make a sound. I won't give him that satisfaction. He works the weapon halfway in before the gun retreats to the very tip. I'm allowed a moment's breath before he buries the entire barrel inside me. I suck in a sharp gasp and let my head fall back, no longer having the strength to watch. This is so fucked up, beyond fucked up. But when the gun pulls out and sinks back in again, a noise does slip through as a wave of pleasure rocks through me.
Good girl.
He breathes.
Open wider, baby.
The hand still holding my thong to the side nudges against my thigh. Without thought, my thighs instinctively fall further apart. Another praise, but I barely hear it over the beating of my heart.
I can feel how tight your pussy is, the way it grips onto my gun when I slide it out. So fucking pretty.
I bite my lip, but it isn't enough to hold in the next moan. Or the one after that. I can hear the suctioning and slurping noises as he fucks me with his gun, and shame fills me in response. The embarrassment nearly overrides the fear, but neither of them is more potent than the pleasure my body is being forced to succumb to. When he angles the gun in a particular way, he hits a spot inside me that sends my eyes to the back of my head and an unchecked moan to slip free. He growls in response, my back arching as he continues to hit that spot. My thong grows impossibly tight, biting into my flesh before it's ripped away from my body, the sound getting lost in another cry. The tattered fabric is tossed aside, freeing his hand to grip my thigh in a bruising hold. My heart jumps when he leans down, but he only clamps his teeth on my inner thigh. I cry out from the sharp bite, but it quickly morphs into pleasure when he hits that spot again. His mouth sucks and his movements quicken until I feel the beginnings of an orgasm settle low in the pit of my stomach. Please, I beg, but I don't know what for. He tears his mouth away just to clamp down again, lower this time, but still far away from my center. Too far away.
Tell me what you learned, Adeline.
He demands, looking up at me, his mouth wet from his biting. The sight makes my heart drop deep into my belly, right to where the gun is driving into me. Not to bite your cheek, I guess, my voice trembling. He answers by biting my thigh in a punishing grip. I cry out, the pain blinding. He loosens his jaw, allowing the pain to bleed into pleasure. A primal noise slips out as he pushes the gun deep.
Are you going to make me ask again?
I open my mouth, but no answer comes out. My silence allows for me to hear his warning loud and clear. He cocks the gun. Okay, fuck. I relent on a terrified hush. I learned not to let another man touch me. Those words bring tears to my eyes, because saying them out loud makes me feel well and truly trapped by this man.
Who's the only one allowed to touch you, Adeline?
I close my eyes, hating the lie that's about to slip from my mouth, just like the tears are from my eyes. You, I whisper, the bitter taste of the words clogging my throat. A battlefield rages in my body, the side that wants him to make me come, and the other side that wants him to turn the gun on himself and fire it. I glance down at him and note the way he's staring up at me, and I have the terrifying realization that he doesn't believe my lies.
You have 10 more seconds to come, little mouse. No more after that.
He warns before nipping at my thigh again.
Rub your clit, baby.
I hesitate. The last thing I want to do is allow this man the satisfaction of making me come, and even worse, helping him do it. He doesn't fucking deserve it. And though my body is strung tight with desperation for it, my brain revolts against the thought.
Now.
He growls, his eyes blazing with something carnal and dangerous. Muttering a curse, I reach down and twirl my fingers over my clit, too scared of the repercussions. If it's between orgasming and getting shot, I'm going to have to choose the option that will cause the least amount of damage.
Good girl,
he whispers. It takes 2 more thrusts of the gun before I'm tipping over the edge, my ass shooting clear off the ground as the orgasm rips through me. I'm screaming. I can feel the sound vibrating the muscles in my throat. And I can feel how hoarse it's becoming, but I can't hear it. Not when my entire being is consumed in fire and ice, and the only thing I can see is heaven. The gun works inside of me faster and deeper, drawing out the orgasm until I'm literally begging for it to stop. He rips the gun out of me, and my thighs snap shut instantly as the last of the orgasm dies. I'm left a shuddering mess from the aftershocks while he stands, his body towering over me. I look up through half-lidded eyes, still jerking from the little shocks, when he lifts the gun and swallows the barrel. It feels like an out-of-body experience as I watch him lick the weapon clean and then stick it in the back of his jeans. My body is full of rage, humiliation, and shame. I know this. But it's like my brain can't process those emotions, so it's just choosing to feel nothing at all. Is this what trauma does? knowing you've been violated but your body chooses to go numb instead. Like a magic trick, his hand comes back into view with a rose that must have been in his back pocket. The petals are crushed, likely from our struggle, but he doesn't seem to care. He twirls the rose in his hand before tossing it on me, the flower fluttering to my stomach. With one last, lingering look, he turns and walks out without a word. And finally, the dam bursts as emotions crash through my body and flood out of my eyes. For the next 3 nights, my shadow stood outside my window, watching me, a red cherry blaring in the night as he puffed on a cigarette. What I wanted to tell him is how fucking disgusting it is that he smokes. But the heat between my thighs likes the way he looks. I think my asshole of a vagina might have even been jealous of the cigarette. Apparently, it has a thing for inanimate objects. And that reminder royally pissed me off. Enough to storm into the kitchen and pour myself an entire cup of wine. Wine cures everything for a little while. Anger, trauma. But now, with a glass of wine absent, rage causes my hands to tremble with the reminder of how he left me on the floor, tossing a rose on me like discarded trash and then leaving. I had never felt more debased as a human until that moment, never more humiliated. He hasn't messaged me since, hasn't tried to come to me and wave another gun in my face. He just lingered outside the window. And I stared back. It's become our fucked up routine. He doesn't come around during the day, and as long as I'm not letting men feel me up and stick their hand down my pants, he doesn't text me any more threatening messages. I don't tell Daya about our confrontation, and especially not about how that night ended. If my shadow doesn't murder me first, Daya will. I was incredibly stupid, a fact I've never tried to deny, especially now. There's just no explaining the reactions he pulls from me. I'd love to pretend like confronting a scary man is so like me, but it's the exact opposite. I work myself into a panic attack if I have to ask a complete stranger a question. So why is it every time he comes around, I slip into insanity? "Why are you wearing a turtleneck?" Daya asks with disdain, shoving a bite of her salad into her mouth. We met at Fiona's to grab a bite to eat. I needed to get out of the house, desperately. The smallest things would bring me back to that night. And every time I looked in the mirror, I was overcome with the memory of his teeth sinking into me and the bite of metal soon after. I clear my throat. "I'm trying something new," I mutter. It was the only thing that would cover the marks staining my body. I had to order several of them in different colors through Amazon Prime, the need for them dire. I can never let Daya see those marks, nor could I ever confess the new meaning my stalker gave to finger banging. She shrugs her shoulders, looking down at her salad. "Only you can make a turtleneck, mom jeans, and a belt look fashionable." I frowned down at my outfit, disagreeing with her assessment. I hate this outfit, but maybe I only hate what it represents. Something designed solely to cover the bruises covering my body. Beneath these clothes is a map of purple hickeys. "What about Loverboy? Anything else happen with him?" I hope the flesh crawling up my neck stays down. If it doesn't, maybe I can blame it on the goddamn turtleneck. "I'd much rather talk about Gigi," I say, eyeing the mozzarella sticks sitting between Daya and me. "I've had 4 already, and I want the last one." Noting my stare, Daya rolls her eyes and flaps her hand, urging me to take it. I do so with a big smile on my face. "I have some news on Ronaldo." Both brows shoot up, urging me to continue. "Last night, I was picking through the diaries to see what I could find on him. Gigi would often mention him wearing nice suits and that gold ring, indicating that he was middle to upper class, and there was one entry where he seemed to have gotten jumped. Came in bruised and bloodied, but wouldn't speak about it. So, I'm thinking he was involved in crime of some sort. He was very secretive about his life and told her at one point that he wouldn't allow his dangerous lifestyle to affect her." "You think he was like a mob boss?" I shake my head no. "No, I think his boss was a mob boss." When Gigi spoke of him when he was beat up, she made it sound like he was punished for something. She quoted him saying, "It was nothing I didn't deserve," and that's all he would say. Gigi had noted several times in entries that she kept asking anyways, concerned for his well-being. The last thing he told her was that he had a very strict boss and he couldn't know about her. Daya nods her head, a spark of excitement in her sage eyes. "I'll look into crime families in the 40s, see if I can find anyone that might match his description." I smile, feeling the same spark of hope. The high lasts for a total of 5 seconds before Daya's eyes widen, her gaze locked behind me. My heart drops and the hairs on the back of my neck rise. My shadow wouldn't show up here now, would he? In front of Daya?
Hello, ladies.
My eyes widen along with Daya's. Her gaze clashes with mine and a million things are said in the span of 2 seconds. Like that we need to be very fucking careful. He sits down next to me, his body relaxing back into the chair as he stares at me with a wide smile that stops miles from his eyes. I clear my throat and force a smile. "Hello, Max. Arch's friend, right?"
The one and only.
He responds, his stony blue gaze glued to my face. I can feel a blush creeping up my neck from the intensity of his glare. "What can I do for you?" I ask casually, sipping on my quickly depleting margarita. I'm going to have to flag down the waitress soon because I'm going to need another to get me through the conversation, and one more to get me through the aftermath. I'm going to need to call an Uber tonight. I already feel it. He leans forward on the table, crossing his fingers and looking at me like he's really curious about something. His entire demeanor is hostile.
I'd like for you to tell me exactly what happened when Arch went missing.
His lips curl into a cruel smile as he tacks on,
From your doorstep.
I frown. Didn't you already hear about it from the police reports? He narrows his eyes, that smile frozen on his ice-cold face.
I want to hear it from you, Ms. Riley.
I do my best to keep my face blank, but I'm not sure how well I'm doing. Can't say I'm practiced in the art of handling a criminal. Matter of fact, 3 nights ago pretty much proved that I suck at handling criminals. He said my last name to show me he looked into me, but that would be the one thing I'm used to by now, being stalked. We went back to my place and had some fun. I start. A glimmer shines in Max's eye when I say that. We were actually in the middle of having fun when someone banged really hard on my front door.
Has that happened before?
My nerves flare because this is a question I don't know how to answer. "No," I say finally, refraining from gulping like I really want to. I also really want to pick up my margarita again, but my hands are shaking and I don't think I'll be able to hide that. So I act like an imbecile and lean over to suck down more of the margarita with it on the table. He hums. Max has to know I have a stalker now. It was something Sheriff Walters told me that would bite me in the ass with them, but I couldn't not report someone stalking me. Max must have seen those reports, but one thing is for sure, I didn't report his hands appearing on my doorstep.
You see, Addie, I just can't quite figure out the motive, you know? Like, say, why would an enemy of Arch show up at your doorstep in the middle of Arch getting his dick wet?
I flinch from his crass words, feeling almost ashamed that I let Arch touch me at all. "Max!" Daya snaps. His cold eyes turn to her, but she doesn't cower. "I've told y'all 1,000,000 fucking times. Addie had nothing to do with it." His gaze thins again, and he leans further into the table, pinning Daya with a steely glare.
That's the problem, Daya. I don't fucking believe you.
She snarls, her hands clenching into fists. "If you want answers, Max, you're looking in the wrong place. I cut in before this conversation blows up and Max murders us right here and now."
I don't think I am.
He responds, facing me again.
Because Arch's hands ended up on your doorstep the next morning, and if I didn't know any better, I'd say that's personal. So why would Arch's hands be personal to you?
He smiles in victory when my eyes round with surprise. "How did you know that?"
Something didn't sit right with Arch going missing at your house of all places, the morning after we sent a man to scope out your property, just in time to see Dea here picking up a bloody box and driving off with it. They tailed her, and after she buried it, they simply unburied it. Imagine our surprise when I saw my best friend's hands in that box. And imagine my surprise when my men told me it was gifted to you.
I don't look to Daya. I don't want Max to see just how alarmed I truly am. My eyes thin. Maybe it was put on my doorstep because whoever it was assumed I was connected to Arch's dealings. He laughs then.
You think our rival assumed you were Arch's bitch and that you were involved with our work?
Maybe. I snap. Would they know if I wasn't? He doesn't answer. He just stares, sussing me out, and I stare back, letting him see the anger in my face, the frustration.
Why did you have Dea bury them, Addie? Why not tell the police?
I weigh my options and decide that telling the partial truth is my best bet. Because there was a note in it, threatening my life, along with any police officers involved if I called them. I was made aware of Arch's work by then and thought it best to listen and not get further involved. In something I have nothing to do with, by the way. Again, he just stares. My heart is beating out of my chest, and by the look in Max's eyes, I'm still not sure he believes me innocent. Part of me just wants to confess to him that I'm being stalked. What difference would it make at this point, anyway? Now that Max discovered Arch's hands, there's no reason to keep it a secret. But there is. If Max discovers I have a stalker, one who is clearly violent and dangerous, he might use me as leverage to draw him out to get his revenge. I'd become collateral, and I'm not sure I'd make it out alive. At least this way, there's a chance that Max will leave me alone if he thinks I'm just some random girl who got caught in the crosshairs of gang activity. Max hums again and stands, straightening his suit jacket and rebuttoning it. The suit drips class and money, and something tells me Max has taken over the Talavera's dealings. There's a new crime lord in town, and he's pissed. At me, no less.
Enjoy the rest of your dinner, ladies.
He walks away, taking all of his bad juju with him. The air instantly feels lighter now that he's gone, but he managed to still leave an ashy taste in my mouth. They're going to be a problem, Daya says quietly. I nod and flag down the waitress. Add it to the fucking list. April 15th, 1945. This evening was awful. John drank too much, and when he does, he gets mean. Frank had to carry him in the house and put him to bed. I was too angry to even help undress him. Finally, the dam broke, and he accused me of cheating. Frank was there and looked at me as if I killed his dog. This happened in front of Frank's work associates. It was mortifying, but nothing I didn't deserve. I denied his claims, of course, more worried about calming him down. After Frank got John to bed, he asked me if it was true. I said no, but I don't think he believed me. He stormed out of the house after that, and I'm not sure what I said to upset him so badly.
Chapter 17. The Shadow. Fuck. She's so pretty when she thinks no one is watching. My little mouse trudges into her bedroom, her tattered slippers dragging against the smooth stone floors. She's tired. Dark circles are beginning to form underneath her eyes. I want to smooth them away, just to bring them back again. But I want her to be tired from staying up all night, taking my cock into her body until she's depleted of all her strength. Even then, I'll still fuck her. I deprived myself last time, refused to touch her with my own hands, when she hadn't earned that from me yet. But watching that gun slide in and out of her pussy was just as torturous for me. I barely made it to my car before I was coming in my hand, the sweet melody of her smoky cries echoing in my head. That woman's voice alone can bring any man to their knees, and now she's wearing nothing but a long white t-shirt, the soft cotton ending mid-thigh. Her rosy nipples poke through the thin material and my mouth waters with the need to take one into my mouth and suck on it until she's wriggling beneath me. I lick my lips. Soon. Her tantalizing, creamy skin is on full display, and I get hints of her red cotton panties anytime she bends over, like when she pulls the covers back and pounds her tiny fist into the pillow to fluff it up. I get a full view of her ass when she slides her feet out of her slippers and then bends down to arrange them neatly before her nightstand. My cock hardens, her perfectly round ass overflowing her underwear. Her pussy is on full display, just a thin piece of fabric separating her from my tongue. I close my eyes and work to regain control. I have to be quiet. She doesn't know I'm hiding in her closet, waiting for her to fall asleep so I can stare at her beauty in peace. Right now, she fears me, rightfully so. I'm a dangerous man, and I kill people daily. Not only that, but I enjoy it too. She should fear me, but only because once she ultimately submits to me, she'll have no chance of escaping me. She's already started to and hasn't even realized it yet. I've never been in love with anything other than my job. I haven't even bothered fucking a woman for over a year. I just don't have time. They were always a quick fuck, and then I'd be off again, the release rarely easing any tension. After dealing with enough tears and desperate attempts to get me to stay with them, I grew tired of the hassle. The moment I saw her sitting in that bookstore, working to hide her nerves and anxiety, there I was, a grown-ass man falling in obsession at first sight. And now I feel like a 15-year-old boy who just discovered what pussy feels like. Every time I set eyes on her, I'm ready to bust in my jeans just from looking at her. I want to touch her, kiss her, and make her mine in every sense of the word. Marking her body wasn't enough, but I get the feeling I will never feel like I've had enough of Adeline Serafina Riley. At least on paper. And I have no fucking shame. I never claimed to be a good man. She slides into her bed, curls up under the duvet, and picks up an old leather book. Her great-grandmother's diary. After Addie had left one day to run errands or some shit, I flipped through the pages. Her great-grandmother also had a stalker. It made me smile when I realized history was repeating itself. Addie flips through the diary for an hour, her face pinched with an unreadable emotion as she inhales Gigi's deepest, darkest secrets. It looks like she's searching for answers, and the only thing that will give her clarity is her great-grandmother's words. Part of her looks disturbed by the diaries, but a bigger part of her seems fascinated, enthralled, like she's trying to picture falling in love with her stalker, and the thought both excites her and makes her deeply uncomfortable. I want to laugh at that, because that's exactly what's going to fucking happen. I'm going to make her fall in love with every single fucked up part of me. I want this girl to see me at my most depraved. I want her to experience the true darkness residing in my soul. When you make someone fall in love with the darkest parts of you, there's nothing you can do that will scare them away. They will be yours forever because they already love all the fucked up bits and pieces of you. Her eyes start to droop, her head lolls, and the diary begins to slip from her black painted fingers. She jolts awake, her eyes rounding before she settles down. I bite my lip, too many feelings invading my chest. Giving up pretenses, she snaps the journal shut, slides it on her nightstand, and clicks off the light. Instantly the room goes black. The moonlight filtering through the balcony doors casts shadows across the room, creating monsters out of wooden furniture. The only real monster in this house is me. Once her breathing deepens, I slowly slide the closet door open and wait in the shadows, making sure she hasn't awoken. Just as I go to take a step, a burst of ice blooms across the back of my neck. Goosebumps rise on my skin as I turn my head and look around in the closet, fighting against the urge to chatter my teeth. It's an unnatural cold, and it's not the first time I've felt it. But whatever is breathing down my neck isn't going to deter me. I feel its eyes on me, and I hope I meet its stare so it can see I'm not the least bit afraid. Seeing nothing, I turn and step out into the room. The chill recedes as I make my way over to her bed. I'm tempted to brush her hair away from her face, but I know it'll wake her. She senses danger easily, and I know she's going to catch me soon. A large part of me wants her to. There's a depravity in my mind that enjoys seeing her scared. I want to see her scream because I know every time she gets scared, my little mouse gets turned on too. It makes the blood rush straight to my cock, and I want more than anything to show her exactly how hard I can make her scream. But the softer part of me wants to watch her sleep in peace, especially because I know I'll bring her so little of it when she's awake. Slipping the rose out of my pocket, I lay it on her nightstand. She'll freak out in the morning, and I'll make sure to play the video back so I can see it and find joy in her terror. She stirs, and a loud noise disturbs the air, something between a snore and snorting like a pig. I bring my fist to my mouth, biting down hard to keep the laughter from exploding out of me. Immediately I turn and exit the room, struggling immensely in keeping quiet. I don't think I've ever heard a noise like that come out of anybody, let alone someone that looks as cute as Addie does. I've tortured and killed a lot of people, and that was unlike anything I've ever heard. It's only when I'm out of the house that I let loose a bark of laughter, but my laughter is cut short when my phone buzzes in my pocket. I pull it out, seeing Jay's name flash across the screen. "Yeah," I answer, my steps quickening as I make my way to my car. Jay only calls me for work purposes, and usually that results in shooting 1 or 12 people dead. "Mark Williams is in town," he starts, diving right in. It's what I like best about Jay. He gets straight to the point. Along with his colleagues, Brad Foreman, Jack Baird, and Robert Walker. I open my car door and sink into the leather seat. I turn on my car but don't make a move to leave yet. "Where are they?" I ask. "I've gotten hits in casinos, a couple of high-scale bars, and a private gentleman's club. Members only, all places that are heavily guarded." "Guards mean they have something to hide," I say. "They're of no concern to me." It's not cockiness, it's just facts. My confidence in my skills is the only thing that keeps me alive. You can't go into a lion's den with the confidence of a gazelle. You go in knowing that you're going to walk back out with their blood on your hands and their heads rolling on the ground. It's the only way you'll ever survive. "They're not," Jay acquiesces. "It's too soon to storm their hangouts, though. I got you access to a couple of the gentlemen's clubs they attend. I think they're going to be our best bet for information. Just go there, scope them out, start making more appearances there and gain their trust. See if there's anything amiss." The laughter from Addie is long gone. It almost feels like I never felt such a happy emotion only minutes ago. Dickheads trafficking innocent children will do that to you. "Fuck, Jay, you want me to mingle with a bunch of rapists? I can hack into their cameras. Hacking into cameras only gets you so far." I sigh, rubbing at the tightening muscle in my shoulder. He's right. Their cameras won't have audio, and there's a lot more to learn when listening in on conversations. "And right now, we have nothing," Jay continues, driving home his point. I nod, though he can't see me. Making friends with the pedos means I could be invited into the ritual. Based on the video, it's definitely deep underground. Gaining access will be incredibly difficult, but nothing is ever impossible for me. Not only that, but it'll put more people on my radar to take down. It's a fucking network of pedophiles, and once you meet one, you meet 100 more. It's fucking exhausting, the never-ending list of people to kill. But I'm a very patient man. "I know," I agree. "I'll make the necessary connections. I will find this place, and once I do, I will kill every single motherfucker associated with that hellhole. By the time I'm done, the entire government will be dismantled."
All right. Woo. All right. My goodness. Woo. Jesus. Homeboy was a man. Yo, he was putting it down on her, man. Goddamn. Oh my goodness. Well, that is going to go ahead and do it for me today. Thank you for watching and listening. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying Haunting Adeline. I know I have been. Oh man. Whew. I can't wait until next week until we get into more of this book, man. I hope you guys are enjoying. I hope that you guys have enjoyed the thread, and that'll be it. I'll see y'all on Sunday. Love you guys, and peace.